On the first day of third grade, I sat by myself at lunch. During recess, I shamefully told the lunch aide that I didn't have anybody to play with. This kind of thing wasn't uncommon for me, especially on first days. From first to fifth grade, I had moved a total of 4 times. This meant new schools, new homes, and new friends that just never seemed to last the summer. The only thing permanent about every move was the excruciating awkwardness that came every September. The first day was always the hardest. There was never a friendly face I recognized. However, I soon learned that every passing day, strangers became less and less scary and eventually became friends. People I could find a home in, even for just a short period of time before my next move. At a young age, I learned to sit next to these strangers, glance into their lives, and see them not as monsters who wouldn't include me at recess, but as fellow human beings who viewed me with the same lens of skepticism and curiosity in which I saw them. 6 years later, now living in Philadelphia, I again ventured into unfamiliar territory by taking the subway home by myself for the first time. I felt like I was back in the third grade lunchroom, scared and alone in a foreign place. Luckily, I was able to find a seat for myself. As I peek over at the woman sitting next to me, I was immediately put on high alert. Every aspect of her made me uneasy, and as a reflective action, I began bouncing my leg. She turned to me and commented that my behavior reminded her of her daughter who had passed 2 years prior. I was initially uncomfortable talking to a stranger, but as our conversation progressed, I realized how nice it felt to listen to someone share parts of their world that I had never seen before. We talked for the entire ride, and although I will never see her again, she helped make my first subway trip a bit easier. That day, I realized the significance of extending a friendly gesture. No longer am I the third grader who played alone at recess, but instead, I want to be like the woman I met on the subway, who had the courage and the compassion to extend a friendly hand to a complete stranger. We've all been there. I know I'm not the only one who leaves an extra seat between me and the next person in a crowded lecture hall. To this day, seeing someone sit alone takes me back to my childhood when all I longed for was a friend. I believe that life is about taking risks and seeing strangers as a reflection of yourself. More importantly, I believe that in a world of 8 billion people, no one should ever feel alone.